Let's look at attribution theory of motivation. See how simple it is? You just simply remove the un and we have fortune. And that is succinctly what attribution theory is all about. It's a matter of attitude. Attribution theory is basically looking at people being motivated or not being motivated depending on how they weigh success factors. If a person has concluded that success comes from inside, from internal control points and control factors, well then, that builds ability, that increases effort and persistence to complete tasks. Whereas if a person figures that success is almost all or mostly due to external events and factors, well, then, the person's looking at, gosh, how difficult is this task, and how much luck will I need from wherever to complete this. And you can see a big difference between these two. The person who sees success as something that comes from within, or success that has more to do with the task or just pure luck and circumstance about the task. Motivation is going to be different for those two kinds of people. Where does a person put their emphasis about how success is achieved? Well, let's take a look at that a little closer. This internal versus external control points. A person from past experience has a sense that success and the amount of effort you're willing to put into something, which is motivation, all depends on, is it coming from within or is it all out there? A person with the internal locus of control, who feels like motivation and success comes from me, from what I do and from what I know and how much I apply myself, well, that person builds confidence, the confidence to try again in another situation, to try new things, to keep achieving and to keep building up achievements and successes, because there's a sense of what we call self-efficacy, that I have what it takes now and in the future. I have what it takes to meet challenges. I can get myself motivated and I can accomplish what needs to be accomplished, and I can be successful because it pretty much all depends on me, what I can bring to the situation. Whereas a person with the external locus of control attitude is going to say, I don't know if it's worth putting in the effort, right? Why should I put in the effort only to find out that luck was against me or the task was too difficult? And so this kind of person builds up a sense of low self-efficacy, doesn't have the confidence to try new things or to keep building on successes because this person does not have a whole background of successes to pull from. So obviously, in school, teachers want to build in students that sense of it's from you. It comes from within you. You can build your own success. But how do teachers do it? What's in their tool bag to get students to feel like the attributes of internal are much stronger than the attributes of what's ever out there in the external? Well, one way that teachers do this is to give individualized work, individualized expectations to students. The idea here is that if you give everybody the same assignment and everybody has to meet the same expectations, the same goals, you're going to probably build in failure for some people. who won't be able to meet all those expectations. So you individualize the work to make it so that everybody has a chance at success in their own abilities. And you plan activities in such a way that there's a high probability they will succeed. You plan things carefully and thoroughly so that you're guiding your students all along the way, and you might say they almost have to succeed. You also want to give them quick feedback on how they're doing and realistic feedback. It won't always be positive feedback. So it has to be realistic and still encouraging. And again, as I said, quick. You don't want to wait 2 weeks after giving a test or a project to grade it and hand it back. You want to make sure they understand this is what you did right, this is where you could do better, so that they have the chance and the time to switch their thinking or switch their strategy to move on to success. Lots of support. The whole point here is that a classroom that is trying to build this internal locus of control is a classroom where the teacher and the students are supporting each other. The teacher gives help. The teacher finds people in the classroom to give help instead of always doing it him or herself. But the class begins to feel like a supportive place where everybody wants me to succeed, so I am motivated to keep trying because they want me to and because they're making it possible with the work that I am being assigned. And then finally, to celebrate success, to let them know, yes, this was done well, this was done accurately, and we appreciate, and you should appreciate, the fact that you have reached a level of success. With a classroom like this, and it takes careful planning, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of support, the idea is to reach every single student so that no one ever feels like, I can't do it. No one ever feels like, well, something out there is preventing me from being a success. The idea is to build that sense of, I can do it, I have what it takes, I can get the support I need, I can succeed now, and I can succeed in the future. That's attribution theory in practice. So check over the supplemental material and review questions. Look back over this video a few times. Take notes, because you have your own attributes and you have your own ideas about locus of control, but you can succeed.